And so, moving on to Leo. Leo is fixed fire, right? So fire being an active principle, right? But fixed, not so much. So this is, if we had to envision it or conceptualize it, Leo is like banked coals in a fireplace or a furnace or, you know, a campfire. This is slow, steady heat, right? Margaret, rising sign in Pisces. I think that was the very last one that we covered, Margaret. That is 6th house, work, health, pets, daily routines, schedules and habits. Those are also 6th house. So what I like for 6th house new moons is if there's a new habit that you are wanting to incorporate into your life, a new moon in the 6th house can be a really good time to start that new habit and make it stick. Very nice. So Leo being fixed fire, like banked coals, right? It's a slow burning heat, steady and sustained. This is the heart, right? Leo is the 5th sign. It's ruled by the heart. You've heard, of course, the phrase lion-hearted. That's very much a Leo expression. Leo is ruled by the sun, right? And the sun is the heart of the solar system. All the other planets and luminaries revolve around the sun in some way, right? So it's the fixed center, the fixed source of light and heat, which invigorates and passes vitality on to everything that it shines on, right? And so this is why, as the natural ruler of the 5th house, Leo also rules love and the activities that we do for pleasure. This is lifelong love affairs with people and with our hobbies, the activities and things that we're passionate about. That's what Leo is really related to. One thing to keep in mind is that the sun, as a planetary body, when we're talking about it astrologically, the sun can never retrograde. And so this is always, this is the fixed fire, right? There's no fluctuation here in the same way that we might see a great deal of fluctuation in the lunar energy, because it waxes and wanes and because it moves so fast through the signs. And then, of course, the other planets, which can retrograde. So their energy shifts and is at times expressed outward and at times directed inward. The sun doesn't do that. The sun is just there. It just shines always at its appointed times, right? So think of that when you're thinking of Leo, when you're thinking of fixed fire. In terms of Leo archetypes, though, Leo archetypes are the archetypes of the artist, right? The actor. This is also the king or the leader of the people, right? The center of a society that activity revolves around, where the king or the leader of the people is really kind of the governing body, right? Leo is also the golden child. As the golden child, as the actor, as the artist, as the leader, this is Leo embodying the desire for recognition, for admiration, and for self-expression, right? Leo describes our creativity, our problem-solving abilities. Leo describes our leadership abilities and our leadership style. And Leo also embodies the will, right? What we want, what outcome we desire, right? The will is what we want to, I don't know what the word is I want to reach for here. Not achieve, but to have, I guess. I don't know if that's even the right word. Maybe it'll come to me as we move into this exploration of Leo. But what I want you to do is grab your pen and paper, because I'm going to go over some prompts here, and I want you to kind of think about these prompts in terms of the area of life governed by the house that Leo occupies in your sidereal natal chart. So the area of life that we just went over in part 2 of the broadcast explore these prompts through that lens, and that'll align it very much so with your own particular chart energies. And so what I want you to be thinking about as you are setting your intention for this new moon, how can you reconnect with your inner child for fun? How can you re-engage in the idea of play or the practice of play? How can you engage in make-believe? Especially, how can you engage in make-believe through visualization or through the practice of pretending, right? How can you bring pretending into your daily experience and leverage it as a tool for manifesting? Act as if, right? What creative risk can you take in the house that Leo falls in your natal chart? How can you be brave about risk taking, and where is it might you need to step into your courage and take a leap of faith? What are you passionate about? What is your will? And what I mean by that is, what experience do you want to create for yourself? Is there a physical thing that you want to create or give birth to? Or you can consider how you might step into leadership, or what kind of attention you want, and what avenues you can explore for greater and more meaningful self-expression. Now, this can be artistic or creative self-expression in any way, really. Okay? So what I want you to do as you're thinking about those prompts is to set creative and inspired intentions around what it is that you want to create for yourself in that particular area of your life in the next 6 months. And then what I would like you to do is, after you have really thought about what intentions you want to set, spend several minutes really kind of visualizing what it is you want to manifest, what outcome you most want, and then I would encourage you, with your pen and paper, take a little bit of time to draw it out. Okay? And then what we'll do is we'll have you practice over the coming couple of weeks, consciously spending some time every day pretending or making believe that you've already manifested that outcome. But I want you to get real specific about what's the outcome that you want. What's your ideal outcome? Okay, so let me recap real quick what these prompts are, and then we will dive into the intention setting. And I'll share with you what's going on in the moon gazing journal for the day. So our prompts one more time. How can you reconnect with your inner child for fun? How can you engage in play or make-believe, especially through visualization or through bringing pretending into your daily experience? What creative risk can you take in the house that Leo falls in your natal chart? How can you be brave about risk-taking? And where might you need to step into your courage and take a leap of faith? What are you passionate about? What's your will? And what we mean by that is, what experience do you want to create for yourself? And is there a physical thing that you want to create or give birth to? I want you to think about how you might step into leadership. And think also about what kind of attention you want, or what avenues you can explore for greater, or more meaningful self-expression. Okay? And tonight, let's see, I'm going to pre-read here because I haven't been, and sometimes it's been risky territory to not read these ahead of time. Okay, so this is, I'm going to butcher this last name, Maria Ouspenskaya. A quote from Maria Ouspenskaya. Even the man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the moonbeam blooms and the moon is pure and bright. There you have it. Today's page in the Moon Gazing Journal. All right, everyone, take a few minutes, and then when we come back to the broadcast, if you will share in the comments what it is you're setting your intentions around tonight and what those intentions are. Everyone just kind of, I guess, take a moment and get to it. I think I have it. I think. Let me see, where are we at in our notes? That's okay, Dylan, you're here. It's awesome that you're here. We were just going over the prompts for the new moon in Leo. And this one is kind of a fun new moon because we have access to Mars and we have access to Uranus in very helpful ways. And so this is really a new moon for being spontaneous and having fun and embracing the unexpected. And it's also a new moon for tapping into bravery and courage in terms of what you're setting your intentions for. I can run through the prompts really quickly if you like. But I would encourage you maybe rewatch part 1 when you get a chance, because I talk a little bit more specifically about the astrology of this new moon. But we were exploring ways you can reconnect with your inner child for fun or engage in play, how you can engage in make-believe through things like visualization or by bringing pretending into your daily experience as a way to act as if what you want to manifest has already manifested for you. We were talking about exploring ways that you can take creative risks, especially in relation to the house that Leo falls in your natal chart, or being brave about risk-taking, taking leaps of faith and really stepping into courage, inner courage. I would encourage you to consider what you're passionate about. And what is your will? What is the experience you want to create for yourself? Is there a physical thing that you want to create, or is there something that you want to actually give birth to into the physical world? You can also explore ways that you can step into leadership. And that's one that I would encourage you to do, especially if that's something that requires bravery or courage to do. And then finally, we were talking about exploring what kind of attention you want, right? Because Leo is about attention and appreciation. And so consider what kind of attention you want and what avenues you can explore for greater and more meaningful self-expression. So those are a few of the things that we were exploring. And let me share with you, if anyone else wants to share in the comments, please share what your intentions are that you're setting for this new moon. So I chose a couple. This is a 3rd house new moon for me. So that of course has to do with immediate environment, things like neighbors and my neighborhood. And I'm on this new journey of looking for a roommate. And so I set intentions with a roommate being like a neighbor, right? Potentially, or kind of like a sibling, I suppose. I want to just set intentions around, well, what kind of roommate experience do I want to have? And what I wanted to do is tap into this kind of Leo energy of finding someone who's fun and who's playful, who's creative, right? And I would love to manifest a roommate who enjoys engaging in authentic self-expression and who embodies genuine love and warm-heartedness. You know, someone who's just right there. That would be a wonderful kind of energy, I think, to be around if you had to be around someone on a regular basis. I wrote also that I intend to begin a daily meditation practice. So here what I was thinking of is the 3rd house and its association with our mental acuity and our mental activity, thinking and thought process, right? That analytical mind. A new moon is a perfect time to begin a new practice or a new habit. And I have been working on reestablishing my meditation habits in the last couple of weeks, but I haven't been super consistent. And I have the opportunity to learn some new meditation techniques in conjunction with this new moon, which I'm really excited about. And part of learning that would be incorporating that into my daily practice. And so the new moon seems like a good time to set an intention around that. And then finally, because this has to do with creative self-expression, something that I feel like I really don't give myself enough opportunity to engage in, and I really want to start doing it more. I wrote that I intend to honor my own creative self-expression by dedicating 1 day a week to my studio practice. Because I just need to make some art, and I think part of that involves I just need to play with it and set aside some time to just play in an artistic way without having expectations around an outcome or a finished piece of work or an attachment to an idea around something I'm trying to create. Just time to play with being creative, play with drawing, play with painting, and just, you know, kind of like when you want to doodle. I just want to doodle in the studio, I guess you could say. And I think the best way to get back into a practice or a habit like that and make it regular is to dedicate 1 day a week, whether it's the whole day or like a couple of hours in the afternoon or something, but dedicate some specific time to that's what you do during that time and nothing else. And yeah, I think I want to do that. And I have a new accountability buddy who I could be like, hey, keep on me. This is my thing. I'm committing to it. That's really exciting. I love it. Does anybody besides me like having an accountability buddy? I really like having an accountability buddy. I feel like I get way more stuff done when I have someone who's like, hey, did you do your thing? You said you were going to do your thing. Anyway, let me know in the comments. Share what it is you're setting your intentions around. I'd love to know. The September overview and short reports are going to be live on the website soon. They're pretty well written. I could add some more material to September easily because September is crazy busy. There's activity nearly every day from the start to the finish of the month. If I did that, I'd probably never be finished writing it, and then it would probably never be posted on the website. So I may just post it as it is, and then we can talk about some of the more specific activity coming up during the September Sidereal Insights Astro Updates. We might just go that route because I don't want to keep this from you because it's information that you might want to have as you plan your monthly activities. And then also, let me throw a link here because Monday we just had our latest Sidereal Insights Astro Update on the Mystick Physick Astrology Facebook page. And if you missed it, that's a link right there to the replay. And if you're catching this on YouTube, I'll include this link in the video description as well. So you can catch the replay of Monday's Astro Update if you need it. And then our next Astro Update is coming up on Monday, September 9th. I always go live every other Monday on the Mystick Physick Astrology Facebook page. So if you want to catch that, that's where you can catch it live. And then I always upload it to the YouTube channel afterwards. Margaret says, I have been going out to meet other senior citizens, air quotes, here, and it's been hard for me because I don't think of myself as a senior citizen, but I'm 69. So there are some new avenues opening to me. And then my writing, creative and very self-expressive. Yes, writing is always one thing that comes to mind for me when I think of fifth house activities because it is a creative self-expression. And then actually selling a truck and an engine for a funky truck. Nice. Oh, is that why you were asking about money earlier in the broadcast? So, but that's good. I'm glad that you're going out to meet other people. And I suppose it is interesting when we have notions around how we self-perceive. That was something that I always thought was interesting when I quit smoking. Because quitting smoking isn't just about stopping a habit or giving up an addiction. it's about changing how you see yourself. You go from seeing yourself as a smoker to seeing yourself as a non-smoker, and it's very different ways of being in the world. And so that's interesting that you mentioned that, because in order to quit smoking, I had to learn to see myself as a non-smoker. I had to take on this new identity in order to make it happen. But I don't think you have to see yourself as a senior citizen. I think that's a social label that we apply to something that can really be kind of abstract, because let's face it, there's some very young old people in the world and some very old young people in the world, and a lot of that has to do with your whole mindset around age and around yourself and around your energy and activity level. And people are all over the board. I really think, Margaret, that that's the real second childhood, is when you enter retirement, right? And so this is a new moon in Leo. Leo is about the child. Tap into that. Enjoy having a new moon, second childhood. Just run with that. But I'm glad that there's new avenues opening to you. Take advantage of them, especially where they seem to be coming out of the blue or they're really unexpected. Anything that invites you to be spontaneous, I think is an optimal thing to consider pursuing right now, with this tie-in that we have of the Sun trine Uranus in Aries, right? At the same time, the Sun is conjunct Mars, the ruler of Aries. This adventurousness, this impulsiveness that Uranus brings into it, the doing new things, being brave and courageous, any of that can have a positive outcome. Margaret says, meeting mostly women, but then one day there were some men there, so it's sort of like, time to go eat. Yes. But enjoy it, because that kind of bouncing around and meeting new people can really freshen up the energy that you are engaging with every day. Especially when you get to meet new people and be exposed to new ways of thinking or looking at the world, or new types of activities or interests or things to be curious about or things to learn. Danielle, it's good to have you with us. I think we're just about wrapped up, other than I'll invite you to join me on the 9th. So that's not quite 2 weeks away. That's when we're going to have our next broadcast, the Sidereal Insights Astro Update. And then stay tuned. I keep saying this, but stay tuned because I will be talking more and more specifically about the 2020 Ultimate Astrological Planner and all the exciting changes in that this year. I'm putting together a prototype for you so that you'll be able to see it hopefully very, very soon. What else is important? I think that's it, really. If you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would encourage you to do that and click on the little notification bell icon, and that way you'll get notified anytime I upload a new video. And I would really encourage you to do that, because even if you are subscribed to the mailing list where I'm supposed to be notifying you guys about these things, I've not been real great about emailing you to remind you when a broadcast is coming up, and I haven't been really timely about emailing with the replays afterwards. So if you really want to make sure that you don't miss anything, I always upload stuff to YouTube, even if I don't get my emails out on time. I got you covered on YouTube. So it's okay that you're late, Danielle. We're about to wrap up, and you can catch the replay. There's some things you'll want to know about this particular new moon in terms of its relationship to Uranus and Mars and how that affects what we can do with it. And then recap Aries and Scorpio. Yes, so Aries and Scorpio. So Aries is 5th house. So having to do, of course, with creativity, children, love, romance, risk-taking. And we talked about creative risk-taking specifically. Okay. Yes, Margaret, and it's a good idea. Hit the YouTube channel. For Scorpio, Scorpio, what did we say? 10th house. So career and achievement, awards and recognition, status, reputation, that sort of thing. So another excellent area of life to be courageous, to take risks that could potentially pay off in surprising ways. Good surprising, not bad surprising. Okay? So there you have it. 10th house and 5th house. All sorts of fun. Thanks everyone for joining me. If you have questions or comments after the broadcast, feel free, pop them in the comments, because I do hover. I'll keep an eye on things and I'll respond to your questions and comments, and we will see you again next time. Thanks everyone.